I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure.
The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us and IndyWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do, make it last. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't run, boy, this should change the back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, 940 Tuesdays. We've been talking professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on all the social media in Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we are going to talk wrestling. We're going to have some fun tonight. We'll probably say some of the swears. I don't know. You never know what's going to happen because it's the Wrestling Mayhem show. I do have with me, as typical on the line, is the man who plays games. He is a Rizz who plays games. Allegedly, he is Rizz.
Fuck. Yeah, there. You can say fuck. So
Take that, algorithm.
it's fine.
There you go.
It's fine. We're not going to get...
This is a safe place.
It's a safe space.
Yes.
It's not awesome cast. We can say fuck. It's
yes.
fine.
Yes.
Okay?
That's the
Good.
top level of
All
what
right.
we'll say. But yes.
But yes, I am back.
You are back. Good to see you. We went to a movie this weekend. We had a movie date.
We did.
I'm like, Rizz,
We
come
did.
to this random movie that's a sequel to a Gerard Butler movie that you've never seen and I watched yesterday, but it's in the fancy theater and you need to get out of the house.
But again, I think you mentioned it. If you saw one Gerard Butler movie besides, Gladiator,
It was
you've seen them
it
all.
was no Geostorm, but anyways, we do also have with. Hold on, I need a second on that one. We have with us the Monarch, or as I like to say, the Monarch. I'm sorry, I watched Venture Brothers. The Monarch, Clayton King, is here with us in studio.
I made it.
You
We
made it. You braved this frozen tundra tonight. I couldn't even. It was hard to get pizza tonight. It was.
Very cool the whole way here. The last 2 hills. Wasn't sure if I was going to start going backwards or not, but we got it. We made
It's
it.
all about momentum.
So
It's all
whatever.
about
Yeah.
don't start, send it. It is a commitment, if you will, right? It's just like pro wrestling.
That's it. I said I
That
gotta be
okay.
there. We gotta make it.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
That couch is very comfortable.
Yeah, so you have the couch to
Just wanna
land
point
on
out
when
that.
you're done. So glad to have you with us here. And I got to figure out, this setting is really weird on this camera. We were using a new camera over here, so I'm trying to figure it out. So I might adjust that at intermission. But anyways, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. We talk professional wrestling. We talk about WWE, AEW. We talk about independent wrestling. Also, with our guests that are here talking about what's going on here. But let's get started with, the news of the news is obviously still Raw, still Netflix. Yes, I'm working on an affiliate code, so you guys can watch ExpressVPN in Canada for the no commercial version. But which also, I'm not the only one thinking about that, because Sean Ross Sapp has a NordVPN code that he's putting out too, so people can watch Netflix without commercials. So I did that this week. So as part of the experiment, we'll talk about me breaking TOSs. So I don't think anybody cares is the thing, though, right? We'll find out. If people are en masse doing this on Netflix, we'll find out if Netflix is going to care at this point, right? So because every wrestling
we have to say this. The Wrestling Mayhem Show does not condone stealing any form of entertainment purposes.
It's
Please.
not stealing. You're paying for it. You're just
Please pay
relocating across the border. I'm taking
Please
my
pay
digital
Please
passport.
pay for Netflix.
I'm paying for Netflix, and they got
Please pay
me. I'm paying for Hulu, but I go to Canada so I can watch my Always Sunny without commercials. It's just the way that people do it. This is actually in the advertisements in most podcasts I listen to. Hey, you don't like what's on Netflix? Go see what's on in Canada. Like literally what they say on top. Like this guy's also a radio host. So it's like, well, if he's doing it, I guess we can talk about this, right? But you're not stealing content. You still have to pay for Netflix, and you have to pay for an additional thing. But anyways, this is a method. I happen to have it because of business, so it's not really a big expense for me. So I know I'm in a very privileged position with that. But I feel that if you find other reasons to do this aside from just to watch Raw and Netflix and NXT. Honestly, in the long run, what do you need to do to watch NXT and SmackDown right now? Have cable, rabbit ears, which costs versus what it pays for in a VPN. Actually, it kind of works out if you want to watch those things. So, if that's your sole reason to need cable, which was me for a while, AEW is not a reason anymore. I happen to have Max. It kind of works out in the end. But anyway, so it's very interesting what happens when you go back and watch NXT and SmackDown. You're going to see 2 hours. You play 2 hours with commercials, right? It will skip the commercial breaks when you watch the replay. Oh yeah.
And it gives you that.
What's that?
That it'll give you that lovely video that you showed me.
No. That's what happens live. I sent these, but where did I send those pictures? Did I send them? You know what? I'll just open my Photos app for this because that's
it's actually now like getting popular in the news world, in the wrestling news world.
Are people passing this thing around?
Yeah, people are passing it along, being
what
like,
ends up happening when you I don't know why I opened it up on my phone here. What ends up happening is when you go to the commercial break and you're not in America. We'll talk about what Raw does in a moment here. But you get this interesting interlude that is a lot of slow motion footage to some soothing music. If you've heard the intro, the Max intro event starting soon or ended for AEW since they've debuted over there, it's kind of akin to that as far as the music goes. And you'll just get this we'll be right back in slow-mos of everybody posing. Some of it's in the ring. Most of it's like in front of a light board kind of situation. I got a video here eventually. Nope, these are text messages. Actually, I think this might be a video, but it's loading. It's still loading in the corner there. I think it's ready to go. So here you go. There. No, come on, hit play. Now it's loading again. Okay, here we go. So you get the idea. Audio's not going to give a crap about this, but
it's fine.
Here's my problem. SmackDown was 3 hours, and I kept falling asleep. This just kept putting me to sleep so bad on Friday. So
the close-up of LA Knight looking
that's me doing that, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I'm like, man,
and then it's different languages too eventually too. It was just changing. There you go. So because this is the international feed where they're not selling commercials on it, right? So that's what happened. So that is the first week of the experiment. Obviously we know in America we get commercials. You get a little notice in the corner that says this is included with your premium Netflix, but you'll get commercials on live feeds. Because people are like, what do you mean I have commercials? I fucking play for the top tier. It's like, that does not qualify for this. This is a different animal, and you obviously don't have Max where they've been doing this for like a year. So when you watch basketball and stuff, right? But no, this is part of it. This is Netflix like getting into that same game that everybody else is already doing for something like this. Now, Raw is interesting because they do a lot more content. If you've been to a live show, you know, they'll go to break, and then sometimes like the heel, who's always the first one out typically, will go out and just kind of do a promo, like bashing the town to get some heat going in the match. You got Chad Gable bashing the town and whatever going into the match. You know, it blacks out for a second, comes back. When they go to the matches, it's just like when we were on the trailer feed for AEW, they do the send off to the commercial, and then they just continue, right? I think they might black out for a second. I can't remember during the matches. Not that there's many commercial breaks. They also do the stand up in the corner where Kathy Kelly like interviews somebody, interviewed like JD. Not JD. Is it JD? Who's the guy in the Judgment Day?
JD McDonough?
JD McDonough.
Carlito?
I think he was. And Carlito and stuff like that. And you'll see backstage promos that you don't see other, everybody's, the first week it was like the New Day Wale promo. We didn't see it until it got on social media, right? In America. So, also, I didn't know this because I was surprised that I was done already when we got to the end of the show.
10:30.
At 10:30.
It stopped at 10:30.
And we're like, and everybody's like, what the fuck happened? Guys, I don't think they said that Raw is 3 hours all the time. They said that the one on January 6th would be 3 hours, and nobody said anything about after that.
Nope.
Apparently, it's what we need it to be.
It's kind of cool, though.
Yep, good.
What's that?
It's kind of cool, though, because, like, in the past, I was thinking about this over the last couple of days. In the past, if we all kind of know what's coming for the most part, surprises are hard to hold anymore.
Oh, this match is going to wrap up in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, but, like, you would know, I know, like, for me growing up, if it's 3 hours, I know the big pop or the big return is coming at 10:45, so be ready. But now that they're not held to that time,
now you want to be
more
in there.
surprising. Now it's when is it really happening? How long or how soon? We don't know. It's a lot cooler.
And also, this has to be a relief, I think, for the creative as well, because now they don't have to fill 3 hours. We're like, you want to throw that in there? Well, we can. I'm like, we really don't have anything for you could tell when you're like, this is 15 minutes they didn't know what to do with. You know, when you're watching. That's the reason why Raw was so bad for so long, because like we have 3 hours. Oh my God, we have 3 hours. Like even thinking about I'm watching there on Monday, And I was thinking about, because there's the backstage promos that they now have to do in the commercial breaks, regardless, right? That's more creative that they need to do. And I'm just like the complication of literally what we do at this level with 880 or even with New Japan and things like that, where it's not a lot in comparison. And there's all these moves and there's all these places they're filming, and they're doing a live spot over here in the corner and boom, 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 boom. Like, just the coordination is insane. Not to get into some of the technology that we're going to get into later. That it was just like, what the fuck are we doing, guys? Like, in a good way. But like, there's so many just production logistics that are just racking in my head while I'm watching this show. And then there's like, oh, but we cut it a half an hour. I'm like, you know how much pain that saved most of that crew to be able to do that?
They're like, yes, we did it.
You're like, yes, we don't have to just make it up for whatever long, right? I think that will mean only the good stuff gets in, hypothetically.
Hopefully.
Right? Hopefully. Obviously, you go out and some things don't hit, right? So, but Raw was, again, another fire show. On a weekend of fire, because I mean, I love this one tweet that my wife sent me from New Japan, because they had a collision going on, which was pretty good, and then New Japan show started at 10 p.m. Eastern time, so. Other than watching the free buy-in for New Japan, you could like turn off Collision and flip over to Triller or World and watch the New Japan show, which started with Ishii and Gabe Kidd. Like, fuck, man. Which is hold on.
You can't even talk about it. That's how.
No, you're like choked up over there, Sorg.
Yeah.
Which was which is a 20-minute draw for the New Japan Strong title, where they chop the shit out of each other, classic Inoki style, for like 10 minutes. It was just like everything you wanted out of an Ishii match, right?
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I was gonna say, first of all, like, I'm still new to New Japan stuff this year, so in my head, I'm like, I kind of remember, I know Gabe Kidd is like a big star now, or a huge star.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God. Especially after that Kenny match.
I haven't heard about him at all since
intense.
before the Kenny Omega match. Should I go back and watch his matches?
I think you would appreciate it.
Okay.
I can send you some that we did. No, this is one of those guys that's Ospreay talks about yelling down the New Japan camera for years, tell him how great he is. Like, that's like Gabe is that guy, right? Like, he's one of those guys, like, because I got to do those interviews in DC, and I'm just like, that guy, like, somebody. We always talk about the Shane Taylor factor. When he turns it on, you're like, this guy's gonna fucking kill me, kind of vibe, right? Like, that guy, like, he like walks in, he like turns it on, red light hits, and he just like, he's gonna murder the camera, verbally, and it just. Like, absolute fucking force, and everybody's gonna know him very soon. And that's what, when I was talking last week about like that kind of the talent shifts and opportunities come up. This guy took the belt from Eddie Kingston when he got hurt, when he was getting hurt. Had to bow out for a bit. So, and he's fucking made the most of it. Him, Finlay are taking over the Bullet Club situation there, and it's stronger than ever, honestly. And even the stuff they were doing with Ospreay going out the door was incredible. Like that crazy cage. I don't even know. The weirdest cage match I've ever seen. Basically, have you seen this? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
They did this. If you're on New Japan World, go look for the shows. Like, it's United Empire against the War Dogs Bullet Club faction, and led by David Finlay. And it is like something like a 5-on-5. It's kind of like a War Games match, but the cage is just a fence outside the ring. Like you have the ringside. Think like Hell in a Cell, but it's not got a roof. But it's also a weird fence. It's like a Terradome fence or something. Yeah. It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that.
It's a West Virginia Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. Let's go.
It is fucking wild, right? And I love New Japan is like getting out of the pure a little bit and just getting weird with shit, right? It's fucking good on them. Anyways, I'm sidebarring here a little bit, but I'm sorry, I'm just a big fan of New Japan right now, and they're also a client. But anyways, just so weird. It's so weird to say. I'm literally, guys, I'm literally going on New Japan World to watch back because it's just easy to play because I have a subscription there. And I'm watching the show because I genuinely want to watch the show and realizing my wife is doing the graphics for the show. Like, it's fucking cool.
That's awesome.
Anyways, back to shit. So Raw. Rizz, what else happened on Raw last? Because I can't stop thinking about the technology shots so that we don't want to talk about yet.
I mean, we found out that there was the transfer portal. Get it? Because of course they have to dig into the NCAA a little bit, and found out that the Wyatt Six and Nia Jax both switched. So Nia's now on Raw, and the Wyatt Six are on SmackDown.
I thought Nia just showed up because she wanted to. Actually,
probably. Maybe that was it. Maybe it's the Rumble.
Okay.
But the main event was pretty good too, which I believe was the Lyra Valkyrie and
no, it was actually a street fight.
Oh, it was a street fight.
Yeah,
it was a street fight.
It was a street fight with Damian Priest and Finn Balor.
Oh, that's right. That was amazing too. Like I kind of went with the one where they had all the pyro for it. But that match was awesome. Kind of like around the same thing you were saying before. They were giving time to people. They were giving time, and they didn't have to worry about Blue Bloods next on USA Network. Or
Stay tuned
like
for
that.
Pacific Blue.
Yeah, Pacific Blue.
And Silk
Chucky.
Stockings.
I miss Silk Stockings. Silk Stockings. La Femme Nikita.
Now you're talking my language.
Yeah, but like
I think we got all the gags in.
Yeah, we got all the things in. But even like with that street fight, amazing. Did not stop. Did not like feel like it was over at all. The Intercontinental title, the women's Intercontinental title match, banger. Excuse me, now it's my turn.
We're getting choked up over wrestling over here. That's what this show is now.
Fired up.
The Penta debut. Like when it first happened, we were like, "Oh, how long is Gable gonna last? Is it gonna be like 2 minutes, 3 minutes? Is it gonna be like put him in the arm thing and then like finish him off easy?" No, they put on a like one of the best matches I've seen on Raw for the past 2 weeks was that match. There was a little mess up at the beginning, but other than that, that was smooth.
Yeah, you could tell the beginning they were both kind of like real excited. Like they were both kind of excited to be doing this almost like with each other. Like, okay, this is about to be awesome. Got the butterflies out, and then okay, now we're gonna do the thing. Now we're ready to go.
Yeah,
yeah. There's definitely a little bit of warm up period there for that, but it makes sense. I mean, no matter what, like Penta's probably just like I mean, this was a big thing for him, right? Like this was getting to a new stage, and everything after everything going on, and and I love there was a tweet actually out by Chad Gable. It says, "I detest Penta, luchadors, and losing. But last night was a reminder of why I fell in love with this beautiful artistic expression of physicality and sport of professional wrestling when I was 5 years old and have been obsessed with it ever since. I felt so alive." So that means like Chad got something out of last night. And also like it was in San Jose. It was Penta's crowd, right? It was his entire family was in the front row. I love like somebody put like the girl that was crying at the beginning. I was like, okay, that's family. That's the kid that came out as Mini Penta during the one pay-per-view when they like had the mini me's with their kids, right? I like Sean Ross Sapp or Chris, what is his name? One of them posted that after the show. So let them have the promo. Let them do. I felt maybe just because we with the New Japan show on Saturday, but it felt like a New Japan promo at the end. Probably because I didn't understand half of it, but still it was like very like. This match happened. Here are my feelings, which is what I feel like New Japan does. Like after the big show, like there's always, dude. If you watch New Japan, there's always like after the last match, somebody gets on the mic and talks about whatever, and ends up being maybe just a send off, maybe just Tanahashi playing the air guitar. Maybe it's somebody getting challenged or something like that, right? And that's what this vibe was, and that was perfect. And I love that Netflix apparently did subtitle it and put it back out on social media, which great, awesome. Good. You know, I think that's cool to bring the fan base that wants to know it back into it. You know, that I mean, we also talk about multi-country broadcasts, so there's already a lot of that happening, right? So but no, I think that's cool. It's very cool, it's very inclusive, it's very real feeling kind of thing. So I think that is a great thing. What do they do from here? I don't know. If Penta just going around just having baller matches with everybody, I'm cool with that too.
I hope.
You know,
I hope so.
Somebody's like Penta for champion. It was just like, man, no. Just
no.
That's not happening. No. I think just realistically, I can't imagine that happening. Not in WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
Well,
but I can see it happening in the next couple of years. I don't know.
So we're kind of like this. We are still trying to get rid of the old thought process of.
I know. WWE. I guess that's
like
it.
We can't.
I've just been poisoned by this.
We can't sit here and go, oh, this guy, the Penta is now probably going to be just stuck with the Rey Mysterio or the LWO, or go to SmackDown and work with
keep them away from LWO, keep them away from all that stuff. Dude. Interact, but it just because I feel like people get lost in those factions, you know.
That's why we shouldn't really be saying that, because I think Trips knows what he has here.
Yeah. Also,
it's one of those deals where you hope they listen.
Yeah.
You know, like one of those where he's already got so much push from everybody that if they just let him go, he's going to be so over. So he's already so over so fast.
When's the last time you saw a destroyer in WWE?
A Mexican destroyer. A Mexican destroyer.
Yeah.
And the flat dead plank cell for it too, which was awesome.
Because Chad's a fucking amazing
baller,
wrestler, and is finally getting his damn flowers.
Finally,
you know, and Chad is gonna be a top hill by the end of the year.
One of the reasons I even got into this is watching him while he was an American Alpha. I was like, I kind of want to be that.
Okay, yeah.
And to watch Chad Gable go from that on Black and Gold NXT and progress into what he is now, the Kurt Angle clone plus, is awesome. I hope they can let him, and that match on Raw, I mean, that was unreal. That was a clinic. So hopefully they can keep letting him go too, because he's been nothing but amazing.
Yeah. Real quick before we go to our first kind of shout outs here, I did find the tweet that Missy sent me because she was monitoring the social media for any tech issues the other night. But I love this one that popped up from Blood Mark Henry, I presume Twitter.
Of course.
Damn, going from Collision to this is like going from a dirt weed to a dab. Going into the New Japan show. So that's the vibe on Saturday night, apparently. So and you know, we'll see if that vibe continues this Saturday. I know there's been a little bit of a alleged blowback about that I've seen on some alleged news sites. Actually, it's one of the good news sites, so maybe we'll talk about that later along with that tech thing. But in the meantime, I want to give a shout out to our friends on Patreon that do support the show. Hey, we just let the feed go from Awesome Cast, and honestly, if you listen to the Awesome Cast Patreon on that feed, we kind of talked a lot of wrestling, including introducing the intern to No Holds Barred for one thing. So I can't wait for that film report to come back in.
I'm sorry.
They needed to know. That's vital history.
I'm going to host a watch party. I'm going to host a watch party, and I'll tell you how it goes.
There you go. If it goes wrong, don't blame us.
Yeah, no.
Don't blame us if it goes wrong. But anyways, thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem show that I'm sure we'll have feedback for that conversation as well. Of course, at our fan of the show level, our longest termed one, Bo Diggity! Woo! as well as Team Hammer Fist. Good job. Team Tupac family. Bubba Brewer of Triple B Podcast and APWF. Jason French. Poppy Club level. Dave Propa Ponder. Rats in Trench Coat. Tony Kincaid at the Pizza Club level. The Rizz, as well as at the manager level. Bradley, thank you so much, everybody that supports us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Guys, we have with us, yes. There you go. There's the Bradley cam right there. Wedgified, as you will.
Still one of my best shots in 2024.
That holds up over time.
That's a perfect picture.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
To promote the VCW show next week.
Perfect.
Come to Washington, PA.
I'll leave it up.
Come to South Fayette. You too may become iconic like Bradley. Who knows?
I'm gonna move over because, like I said before, like if I sit right in the middle here, it looks very suggestive.
Yeah, it looks like you're just like.
So I'm just gonna go right here.
I mean,
give us a view. Let us see what's going on there.
It just looks like you're having your own kind of party. But whatever.
I'm blocking the best part.
That is true. That is true. But anyway, speaking of VCW, Clayton King is actually a trainee of the Beastman, which means you trained in the deepest, darkest, was it woods, forests of West Virginia?
I can't even remember my way back.
Okay.
It's so far out. It's so far gone. I couldn't even. I couldn't get there if I wanted to.
What is the train? Is there? What is the training of Beastman? Is it like the caveman games I used to play on the NES? Is it like what does that look like for Beastman training?
It's just gross. As a man of my caliber, right? To even walk in there and believe that this is the way this is going to be done was something else.
Okay.
And it is.
That sounds like a regular wrestling school thing to me, actually.
Here's the way I'll put it. The best way I can describe let's just Rocky IV. Okay. I'm used to training like Drago. Beastman's in the barn.
Okay. All right. You just position Beastman as Rocky in this scenario, which was I'm still wrapping my head around.
Mickey.
He's Mickey.
Yeah. In my situation, he's Mickey. Do it again. It's just it's a style.
You're Rocky. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm picking up on the metaphor now.
I'm always the hero. Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
Of course.
But it's just it's something unlike anything I'd ever seen. It's crazy.
For those that don't know, again, let's introduce people that don't know who you are. Maybe you're not watching 880 wrestling yet or anything else where you've been popping up. Like, what have who is Clayton King?
Clayton King is the man. I mean, he's higher class. He's going to tell you everything that he thinks, and that's that he is, better than anyone. I deserve all the shots. He deserves all the championships. He deserves everything, even when he doesn't, because you're grace that he's here.
When you started, you showed up at a lot of shows. You came out at a lot of shows. You had a guy that talked for you. Mm-hmm. Jaden Sinclair, I believe it was, right?
Correct.
It's been a while since we worked with him, so I'm trying to remember. And you didn't really work for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of settled in. Like we just heard about you for the longest time. You were just like you were like an Emma repackage for a while, except you actually came out in the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. I was getting close to being done and graduating and being done training, and for me, I said, hey, just put a microphone in my hand. There were instances where, say, there was maybe a big group match where I'd maybe get lost or something like that would go on, and the conversation would be, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And I would say,
I didn't even get your graphic right.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't know, right? I was new. Nobody knows. Who's this guy?
And I said, that's not the lumberjack.
Yeah, who's this guy with the suit? And for me, I just said, hey, put a microphone in my hand and we'll go to work. And it's like any opportunity I could get. And I'm not ready to work yet, but I know my mouth is ready to work yet, and I know I can work fans. So let's do this thing. Give me the microphone. Let's go. Mm-hmm. And luckily, the belief in me was there the way that I believe in it. And I was able to get myself out there, push some promos. When I finally started getting into the ring and working, it all came together. So we were able to set the table that way, which was super helpful. Mm-hmm. Super helpful.
You were part of, I know we were talking about a little bit beforehand. You had some interactions with Keith Hott here, who I think is one of your early matches when you were really kind of getting into things, right?
Yeah, Keith is, I would say, maybe the person, if not mostly, fully responsible for just anything that I've done so far. I'm still nothing. I'm still on the way to being what I know I can be. But without them, I don't exist. Between just working through those matches, the feedback from the back.
Yeah, you're getting your ass kicked a little bit here. Yeah.
A lot of bit.
Yeah, a lot of bit here. Yeah.
What I do best. But it's been amazing to have them ready to just hit me with knowledge and push me on the way, put me in situations that maybe I'm not comfortable in, but I'm ready for. Keith has been immensely important to everything that I do, and I tell people all the time, without Keith, Clayton King does not exist. Does not exist. Not at all.
Awesome. Again, and he's another West Virginia mainstay, I guess, right? Down there with that, of course, and a great history. I mean, it's wild to see the list of people he's been tag team champions with, including Remy LeVay. God, I just saw a tweet from him earlier today. Extremely cute. Tyler Vox is another one. Colin Delaney, that's it.
Colin Delaney,
yes,
yep.
And everything. So that's really cool. Now you have fallen into a different crowd, and I'm going to say, Clayton, I don't know if I approve of your new friends. Okay, I kind of have a history with them here on this show and otherwise.
No, you don't have a history with them.
I don't have a history with them.
No, you don't.
I don't.
Like, I know you think the book is about you. Obviously, it's Sword and Sorg kind of rhyme, but it's not about you, Sorg.
Okay. Yeah.
Point that out there.
Yeah. Of course, the authors of the
I haven't read it yet. I'm still waiting for my book.
I'm still waiting on my copy too. They did a reading when they were on the show. Of course, the Buddies Inc. we're talking about. Behind the Tag Rope is their book. But we have had other production interactions, unfortunately, as well.
The empty tag rope.
The empty tag rope. Excuse me. Yes.
We maybe get it right.
I'm sorry
for those guys.
That's why. Yeah.
John, Joe, sorry, I got it. We'll
whatever
fix it
it is. Whatever it is. I'm still looking for it. Not readily available on Amazon yet, allegedly. But you fell in with these guys.
Not so much.
John is chuckling while I'm speaking. Do you have an @ on Twitter?
Me, I'm not on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at Clayton King Monarch. That's where you're going to find everything for me. I go to Instagram probably multiple times a day.
You're a one platform person.
Yeah, they're going to come to me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
a strategy.
Fine. Yeah.
Okay.
It's working just fine. We're doing great. Clayton King Monarch on Instagram. You find everything there. That's where you want to be. X or Twitter or whatever it is now. Blue Sky. Is that the new one? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the new one. Yeah, it's hard to keep up.
Maybe we'll figure that out and I'll put it on my Instagram.
I'll talk to you about red tape and lemonade.
Yeah.
So, anyways, buddies, we were talking about
the buddies. Yeah.
Yes.
The guys are, first off, welcoming me with open arms at 880, which for me was a scary leap. I talked to Keith and Zeke Mercer about showing up there for a while and kind of finding where I fit. I'm a different guy. I'm a unique guy and more of a lone wolf. If I have somebody backing me or something, that's great. But I found two guys that get it. We need to educate these people. We need to clean up the South Side now. We need to take everything that we need that's wrong with 880 and show them what it needs to be. And that's us. It's friendship. We're having a great time. We're picking each other up. We're supporting each other. We're showing that there's a better way than to just hang out in some dirt barn and whatever. We're buddies. We want to be nice, good, family-friendly entertainment for everybody and champions these people can be proud of.
Family friendly. Okay.
The anytime, anywhere 880 champions right now.
Okay.
And we are we're coming.
We'll talk a little bit more about that, but first, if you want to see some of this stuff we're talking about, go to IndyWrestling.us. Of course, we got the 880 Wrestling live from the south side of Pittsburgh now every Thursday night where we're doing some video training. Of course, this Friday's Ball Drop. You'll see the commercial on our break here coming up with us on the video version of this show. But go check that out and so much more. Neo Pro Wrestling just dropped 2 shows, Endgame and The Curse of... I can't remember the rest of that one. But they're Scary October show is what it is a part of that as well for subscribers over at IndyWrestling.network and BOD and over on the YouTube page membership as well. And that's also if you hey, the coolest way to get it on your TV. Everybody's got YouTube, I think, on their TV at this point. We do have a membership on the YouTube where you get a lot of those shows as part of that too. So a lot of great options for you to watch wrestling the way you want to watch it. So thank everybody to support there and go check out everything there, IndyWrestling.us. Speaking of, you have an opportunity at a Rumble this weekend. Or Friday, I guess it is, as well. And I know I saw a little bit of a promo for that last week.
Yeah, we are, all 3 of us, Buddies Inc., we are in the New Year's Rumble at the Den of Desire Ball Drop, which should be a Buddies Inc. event, but that's okay. We'll let the branding figure it out.
Now, wait a minute. So if the Buddies Inc., obviously there's, the Den of Desire Ball Drop's a show, Brandon St. James Unholy Holiday is a show. We've had Brohemus, Big Ass Bash or some sort of MV Young's barbecue. What do you think a Buddies themed show would be? Let's brainstorm this a little bit for the marketing department over at 880.
Yeah, they seem to have this thing with alliteration, which is always great. The Buddies Inc. Bonanza. We have it in the middle of the summer.
What would make it a bonanza?
It's just a big party. We're going to celebrate everybody being friends, obviously with buddies on top and having a great time and just celebrate having some great friends and taking care of each other. And again, I can't say it enough, just cleaning up the South Side.
Does this seem like a good point to introduce a trios championship for the Buddies?
I mean, if it ever shows up, there's nobody else who could win it in my head. I mean, the Buddies were the most cohesive trio around.
You got the Jocks. You got the Department of Jocks.
The Jocks.
They even have matching jerseys.
You've seen the Jocks with me over the last couple weeks. They can't even come into an entrance the right way. I have to go over it with them and say, okay, they're going to play my music. I'm going to come out. You're going to come behind me, pat me on the shoulders, fan me off. And then they just go flying at 100 miles an hour. They hear nothing. Yeah, they're not even on this planet.
Okay.
I mean, good talent, great talented guys, athletic, sure. Do they have energy? Sure. Half a brain between the 3 of them.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
we were having a little heat with the Jocks. I got you.
I mean, you just got to tell them you got to tell them what to do and where to go all the time. It's honestly exhausting. It's honestly.
Okay. So you're not going to lead that team. You're not going to Phil Jackson the Department of Jocks here.
If you go on IndyWrestling.us and you watch some of these back on the Thursday night fights, you'll see I'm trying. I'm doing everything I can. At one point, I think Avalanche and Dev called me Dior. Like, they didn't even know who I was.
Which is their usual teammate, yes.
And that's multiple times, not just once. So, you can only go so far.
Can I ask you, we've been having a lot of fun here, but can I ask a serious question?
Yeah, absolutely.
About your tag team partner, your group partner here, and author, allegedly. Is John okay? Because this video came out yesterday. He's wearing a beret. I don't think he's even a little bit French. And he keeps talking about protecting the city and everything. So can you explain this? So he's got red suspenders. He's got the red beret. Something about the Guardian Angels or something like that.
Yeah, he's really, really trying to make sure the South Side is safe. So
okay. That's a big project. A lot of people are working on that.
Yeah, he's coming to me and Joe Murphy with the Guardian Angels, Guardian Buddies kind of deal. He wants to make sure that everything in 880, now that we're in a new home, it's a new start, that everything starts the right way, that we don't have to deal with some of the stuff from back at New Ken. Everything's clean and good to go. And he is super protective of the new place and wants to make sure that it is exactly what we need it to be. And I love the guy for it, and I'm happy to help. I don't know about the suspenders, the beret, all that. It's something we're talking about as like a Guardian uniform deal. We'll see. I don't know. I'm a little more style than that, but I think he's just so locked in on protecting what he is going to be a champion of, that he wants to make sure that everything is as it needs to be when he is finally decided to cash in his title shot, that everything's in top order for his reign.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of which, you're talking about your lack of respect there and cleaning up Southside. Like, obviously the big move recently with 880 Wrestling from New Kensington to deep in the heart of the city here. How do you feel about that move, how it's kind of panned out with the vibe and everything as well?
I love it. I think it's a great place to be. It's been nothing short of fantastic. You always have things that happen in a new place where you're not sure. We've got to kind of figure everything out logistically and how it works. The setup's different. Everything's a little different. But I think it's been amazing. I love it over there, the South Side. I love being in the city. Not just from a travel standpoint, but from just a locale. I think we're more central that way to more people, which is amazing. So for me, it's great. I really like the fact that we're doing these shows, and it's just going to be more accessible for way more people. I mean, that's so huge. That's so huge. We get lots more people in there. We're going to pack them in, and the feel in there. Dottie Block was special. I mean, that was amazing for me, like a famed place that I always wanted to go. And then when I finally got there, it was like, oh, we're here. But this is so intimate that it really is creating a new experience for the people coming to watch, and the interaction and the way that we can give them more of an intimate experience and more of a real look into like who we are and how we want to work has been really, really cool. We can always get in everybody's face, but here, something about Southside that feels way closer, way more intimate, it's got a more of a big fight feel to it, where the crowd's a little more on top of you. The energy's a little more palpable when you're in the ring. You feel it more because they're right on you. It's very cool.
Shouts to, of course, the Tupac family is in the chat room right now. So shout out to them. And, of course, a lot of great things happen. A lot of conversations happen there about 880 and stuff. So.
And I feel like New Ken, like Dottie Block is amazing. Don't get me wrong. But to have wrestling in centralized Pittsburgh location like this, where it's in Pittsburgh, minutes away from downtown, that makes it that makes it for me. Like, you will get that grouping of all walks of life there.
Yeah.
And like that's how I feel. Like, I haven't been there for the new place.
I think you're coming in this week, right?
If
you better,
weather permitting.
Okay.
Weather permitting.
Yeah,
yes.
we got weather permitting, obviously, yes. So,
but like, I can't wait to see how it actually looks. Like, I've seen it on Twitch. I've seen it in videos, in video form. I've seen it in pictures. I just want to actually just be there live.
Yeah. It'll be really fun. And I know we're figuring things out on production side, and just had to make a lot of big changes for we had to reinvent things this week, but it'll be it's been a lot of fun. And of course, first big shows this Friday, the ball drop as well, and of course, come early. I think 7:30 is when the pre-show starts with the Rumble.
Correct.
And that's where you guys will be a part of, and that'll be interesting. I've never seen so many promos for a pre-show.
Well, the big part of it is the prize, right? So
yes.
The winner of the Rumble gets the title shot at All-Star Weekend.
Yes.
So for the buddies...
That's Gannon Jones Jr.'s All-Star Weekend, I believe.
Correct. And for the buddies, what that means is we win the Rumble, we have 2 title shots. Some guy named John from the Thanksgiving Bash which we have anytime,
which
we have anytime, anywhere we want, and we're going to win that one.
Yeah.
So that's already won. So with all three of us in the New Year's Rumble, the numbers don't lie. It spells disaster for everybody else.
Okay.
In the Rumble, the buddies are going to have 2 after this going into this
is
weekend.
the year the buddies get gold.
It's the year of the buddies. I'm a catalyst
year
for the
of
buddies.
the buddies.
The year of the buddies.
If everything that's going on in this world tells me anything, it's definitely the year of the buddies.
It is the year of the buddies. Clayton King was the catalyst. Now that I've arrived, we're taking the buddies to a whole nother level.
The catalyst. You're the Jay White of 880. I got you.
You're the buddies. You got it.
Okay. All right. It'll be interesting to see how all that pans out. Clayton King, who's only on Instagram. So that's okay. It's hard. It's all right. You need to get people for that, right? Yeah. So I know some people. But anyways, we are going to be back here. Rizz is going to ask me about drones, and we're going to talk more with Clayton King and the crew here on the Wrestling Mayhem Show. If you're on video, you're going to get a little preview of a ball drop and more. Yeah. We'll be right back after this.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Wrestling Mayhem Show. We are back here after the break here. Of course, Clayton King with us. Are you having a good time, Clayton?
I'm having a great time.
There you go. You're glad you braved the snow for all this.
Absolutely. This is nothing. Cleveland snow. This is nothing.
Of course, the Rizz is with us as well. With there's Bradley in the background. Look at that. That's good. That's good.
Left.
Shout out to everybody out in the chat room hanging out. I see SE Cannon and Hilljack hanging out there in the chat room. Oh no, this isn't the chat room for us. I'm watching the playback from another video.
What?
I opened one of the 880 shows
Sorg,
for
are
footage.
you okay?
And it's just playing a live chat, and I thought it was this show. What's up, Tina Keys out in Seattle, who's saying, we were talking about 880 and the vibes down there. She says that's what she likes about the Defy shows. They're centrally located in the city to take the streetcar to as a comparison. Yeah, I mean, we have a semi-functional bus system, as John's figuring out. But no, it's more accessible in general, right? So, and we do have a husk from the Beastman from a little bit earlier as well, watching out there. So, I think he's back in the States. I think he had something on Voltage Wrestling this past weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So
he is. He's back, and he's back and right back to what he's doing.
Yeah. I still have to see. We do have Beastman penciled in actually for about 2 weeks from today. We're scheduled to have Rich Bocchini on next week. So it's going to be a fun couple of weeks here. So, and we got some fun plans coming into the next. We already have booked the Mayhem wed game for Valentine's week. So
can I talk about a Beastman story for just a minute?
Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
So
we would love.
Tell
me more.
Everybody loves a Beastman story.
Yes.
There's a Beastman story. He talked about it the last time he was here with you guys.
Okay.
Or we're training one night and something's not quite going the way I need it to go or I want it to go or whatever. Because I'm there to work. Like, I'm not messing around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to learn and go and get it. And he says something one way or another, and I get right in his face, and I'm hot. I'm mad. That was the scariest 10 seconds of my existence as a human being. I want to make sure that's out there for everybody to know.
He's a big guy.
That is a large man, and he's nasty. And so on the outside, I'm mad and I'm being tough and whatever, but on the inside, I am a shivering kitten. And it's crazy. It's something that needed to happen, but that moment taught me a huge lesson about speaking up for myself. And him and I don't talk about it that much because we just talk about so much other stuff. But that was, as a human being, that moment for me was like massive. One of the most terrifying moments of my life. I thought it might have been the end of my career before I even started. But I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go, but this has to happen.
I feel like you haven't been properly trained until you've had a moment of fear. Right. In wrestling, of like, oh shit, people take this seriously, at least so you do have the mindset to take this seriously. We've talked about multiple times on paper, this is the most ridiculous fucking thing in the world, is professional wrestling as a function of what it is and people that want to do this, you know what I mean? Or even fans that spend as much time as we do on it. Let's that aside, all right? It's ridiculous. But the people in the business of it are very serious about the business of it, and you can be, and you have to be at a certain point, but also recognize the fun. I think that's the difference. I feel like I noticed the difference between trainees, especially from school to school, and I think it's a respect thing, that comes through. I feel like I can tell you in 2 seconds with a trainee if I think they're here for the right reasons.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And they ain't even doing anything but being backstage. So, right. and it's really, and Rizz, you've probably seen this at this point too, right? So,
of course, yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of like, honestly, it's the same vibe that if you're like, you have a coworker that is like, they're just collecting a paycheck, you're just not, you're not interested to make sure the show goes smoothly and doing whatever needs to happen to make this show go smoothly, regardless of your position here. So, and that's what you need, for at this position. Everybody starts as a young lion,
Yeah.
Juice, you know what was wild, and I think it was a perfect example of this is Juice Robinson had a run at NXT as what, CJ Parker?
CJ Parker, yep.
And then seeing him on Wrestle Kingdom as a young lion at ringside, and it's just because they strip you down and you're just black tights guy until you're allowed to have a character. And it's just like, that's a guy, he was in the system and completely started over. Trish Adora, who was doing some great stuff in the indies, was a young lion popping up ringside, right? For LA JoJo. And that's, I think, but that's what gets them in the right spot. You learn, I think you relearn the respect for the business that way, the way they do things down there in New Japan. So, but of course, it's a whole different vibe with those guys. So, anyways, Riz, you had something to bring up.
Sorg,
Yes.
I want drones at wrestling shows.
You want drones at wrestling shows. Riz,
At independent wrestling shows.
Riz, you weren't there when Damian Sandow, whatever his name is now, is yelling at a drone at Exodus.
Is it Aaron Stevens, right?
Aaron Stevens.
Yeah,
Yes.
Aaron
It
Stevens.
was like the first or second show I did with them. This is a small room, okay? Like packed with like 200 people, I think they can get in there. But it's tight. And we all see the drone, You can't miss it. We all hear the drone over the crowd. And then he just starts yelling at it.
But imagine the shots you're going to get.
Oh, the shots were cool, but of course, Raw started off with the longest drone shot I think they've ever done, because this thing did the come from the outside through the lobby, through the thing into the arena, and then just circled the fans in the arena thing. They showed a shot.
They did like a whole.
They showed
like
a shot.
Side angle.
Yeah, they did a shot from last week on the flashback where the drone comes in and there's Cole and Pat McAfee up on the desk dancing. Like it's coming from like behind them out of the crowd. It is fucking crazy. And on top of that, and this can be, if you're watching this, the drone's happening. You're seeing there are a lot of different kind of shots happening there that look kind of like the jib crane. And I can tell, as video person, I can kind of tell you what was a drone and what was not a drone, right? I can actually even tell you that the other thing was definitely a different kind of camera. I can tell you a top-down thing that they use at fucking AEW is definitely a lot lower res than anything else. You can see the little lines around the outside. Because this is my penance. But anyways, so you had your drone shots there a while, but then you had this other thing happening, and I caught a glimpse of this. And again, everything from that first week we watched about. We did not know anything about that presentation from the Intuit Center would carry over as the new thing from Raw. Now we know they're not going to be fans behind that fucking stage every week, because it's just not, for whatever reason. If it's so they can cut out seats to make it call it a sellout every week, who knows, for instance. But they have one of those. I think they're referred to as sky cams. The NFL, the one on the wires, they have one of those. And when you see this jib crane kind of thing come up, it's and then like it comes up above the scoreboard kind of thing, and they do that wide shot. There used to be a guy in the corner with a camera doing that shot. Now I think they just zoom that thing up there and that's it. And they have a guy operating it.
Right.
What was the one? Was there one where a drone or a sky cam, something came in? I think it was Sami Zayn's entrance, right? No, somebody. Where it came from the side, it was low as they were going to the crowd on the other side. The guy came up and looked at it and started doing the walkout, and it just followed directly behind him. Do you remember that from last night?
Ooh, I'm trying to remember now.
Like, it came from, like, the side of the stage area while he was talking to the crowd on the backside, and he comes back in and starts through the entrance, and it's just directly behind him. I'm like, is that
Was
the
it
drone?
Seth?
I think
Was it Seth? Yeah, it was Seth when he was coming out for his thing with
I don't know about
with
that.
Punk, wasn't it?
Nah, I feel like Sammy had a match. No, Sammy has a match next. No, Sammy had a match with
Sammy
Miz.
had a match.
It was during. Guys, we have
The
Netflix.
Miz,
You
yeah.
can look it up.
This should be way easier than this.
Why the
This should
fuck
be
are we
way
working
easier.
so hard?
I'm
It's
like
not on cable anymore.
Failing.
There's steam collectively coming out of all of our ears. If we just can look it up.
It
What
hurts.
are we doing here?
This is just bad for the
Doing
brand.
a podcast like it's 2006.
Yeah.
But this shot was like amazing. Now, there's a certain point during the show where you're like, oh, they're playing with the new toys too much. Yeah, there was a little bit of
like during that roundabout where they were doing the drone shot around the crowd, looking at the crowd. They came back around, went through like almost like above the ring a little bit, and like pointed it at Cole and McAfee, and even McAfee's like, like that's a drone, but like yeah, they're having way too much fun with that. I'm waiting
Listen
for it to malfunction.
There's gonna listen, they're not doing it unless they have the best drone people possible. They're spending a lot of money on drone people. I know what I have to pay to have a drone person here in a couple months, and it's probably a lot more than I'm getting paid those guys. Not for our shows. No, it's for a client. No, it's for a client. I had to pull out the big guns and call some. I had to call in the team, and this is not it. We're doing some Avengers shit on production in Michigan in a few months.
John said we're getting a drone.
Who's getting a drone? Who said it is?
John said we can get a drone.
I did not say I would be getting a drone.
John said we're getting a drone.
I think we may be able to. I believe the university has drones.
Oh God!
If we loop in UPTV, they would probably drone for us.
All right, we'll have a conversation. Not at 880 though. Maybe Penn. I think we did. Wasn't there a drone at the first Penn Brewery show when we were outside? Somebody did a flyover. I thought.
Somebody did a flyover.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
So I mean, I am not a. Listen, if you're a drone operator and want to do some stuff with pro wrestling. Hit me at goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com at Sorgatron on all social media, and I'd love to have a conversation and we can try some stuff. Okay, so I would love to learn how to integrate something like that. I have determined I am not going to become a drone pilot. I am going to be the person that hires the drone pilot because I don't got time for that shit. I got too many shows to do, right? And I got 2 new requests this week, so I got to fucking figure out the next 3 months. So
but just imagine like Warhorse or Beastman. Watching a drone come by them and not try to throw a chair at them.
I just visualize the most epic Beastman shot in my fucking life.
You don't want the Beastman drone experience. You're not going to want that. That doesn't end well for anybody.
Epic roll in to them. Just visualize this. You're rolling into the arena. It looks good. The crowd's full. You sweep around that hot West Newton crowd, flipping off J-Rock, and it comes right up. Tony Kincaid in his purple ass suit just ducks out of the way because he's just scared of everything at this point, right? And then it just like comes right into Beastman, and then he just goes in, grabs it like a fucking salami sandwich, and right into his mouth. Husk. Fucking husk. There it is. That's it. That's fucking it. So,
seat of my nightmares.
It actually is a nightmare too, depending on what state you're in and what the facility is, to have drone operators over people. So the fact that they're doing this in arenas, like when they did it in Puerto Rico, I'm like, oh, cool, they got away with it because Puerto Rico, I don't think has a lot of rules in this nature, probably, right? Maybe, probably. Like I don't know Puerto Rico, but I figured if you're going to do it first in Puerto Rico, okay, whatever, yeah. And they've done it in their foreign countries, where maybe there's no FAA rules on drones, and like there is here, you know. Who knows? But also having the discussions I have had in certain facilities. We've been talking about drones for at least 4 or 5 years, logistically just not even for live, just for getting shots. And they're just like, zero, no, we cannot fly it over people. We cannot fly it over the facility. The facility actually will not allow it. One of the facilities is the Michigan Speedway, so they kind of have rules.
Yeah, they kind of.
They're just like, you will not bring a drone here. It is actually like it may be actually protected airspace. So like kind of situation, right? Like there's a lot of logistics nobody thinks about with these things. It's wild, and that I believe I would be very interested to see. I would not be surprised if they come to certain cities and states and they will not bring the drone because they probably can't, or they're going to pay enough money and do it anyways because. They do certain things in certain states. They're definitely not up for the commission. What was the state? Yeah, because AEW had this problem. Because there was a state where they didn't think Nia Jax is going to be allowed to wrestle anymore. And they're like, fuck you, we're bringing Nia Jax. So, you know, like Oklahoma or some shit like that, right?
It was Oklahoma, and not to interject, but that was extraordinarily funny.
Yeah, I love how the entire company says, "No, fuck you, she's wrestling."
No, we're bringing.
You know,
we're
like,
bringing it,
yeah,
it's fine.
fucking fine us. Like, we'll pay it, whatever the fuck. You know, which is like great to stick by your fucking roster. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Yeah.
I'm glad some companies still do that these days. Looking at you, other wrestling companies. Anyways, moving on from that.
Name names, Sorg.
No
Name
names. No, this
Name
is a happy show. This is a happy fucking wrestling show, okay? So we already went down we already slid down the slope on Awesome Cast earlier. So anyways, Enjoy Wrestling always brings out the drones for Taco Mania every year. Yes. And it always gets the coolest footage of that massive crowd they bring out for the event. That is true. Because, of course, Enjoy pushes the envelope. So, dude at VCW West Virginia doesn't care about much. That is also true.
I mean,
if we're tuning in anywhere. Too bad the show's in PA this time. In a fire hall. So.
They do some stuff in some smaller places, too. VCW does some like house shows in some places. I remember...
I can't take a drone to that fucking bar. I can't even film in that bar.
I just remember... this might have been like my first or second week of even being involved at all. And I remember watching a triple threat with Nix, Reese, and Casey War.
Yeah.
In that building.
In the bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm working music in the back, freaking, and they're just going like this is their WrestleMania. Like they were still fairly new, so they were pouring everything they had into it. They probably don't know it as one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It's one of my favorite matches I've ever watched ever. And I think about those three, the way they were going at it with a drone having to navigate them just going ham all out on each other. It's a disaster. It's like the drone operator's having a heart attack the whole time. Casey's launching Reese like 100. Like, what are we doing?
I feel like even at Raw, I feel like the drone would be distracting, right? I've been on shoots where there's been a drone. Caterpillar had a drone for a Baja one time. We were on their facility in Peoria. Caterpillar, the fucking big heavy machinery company, right? And I just standing there getting my shots of like some track that was happening in front of us, and then just hear this buzz over my head. I was like, oh, what the fuck? It was freaking out when they were at Exodus because it was such a small room. And we're like, what is happening right now? What the fuck is that sound? Like, we all hear it,
Just a distraction, like a laser pointer for a cat, right?
Yeah. Except you're like, is this thing gonna fucking hit me in the head? Like kind of thing, right? So that's usually the thing. I'm just like, well, I feel uncomfortable, because that thing's got propellers, and you don't think about the protections, but whatever. But anyways, sorry, I'm going in.
I don't have that problem, sorry.
yeah, because I'm gonna be the one that gets it first.
Yep.
When you're on a gig with me, yeah. So I'm your protector. Wear your headgears. Everybody's gonna wear the headgear to wrestling shows now. That'd be a great botchamania, though. I'm surprised nobody's tried the earpiece video thing on the indies, as Rizz keeps bringing up ever since SummerSlam. I'm literally
I've
sitting...
given you the Amazon. I've given you the Walmart shopping list for that sort.
Yeah, it's not that expensive, actually. I'm sure that's not the one they're using, but
it's not that. It's probably not.
Listen. I'm sitting in the stands in the upper bowl of SummerSlam in Cleveland, getting messages from people. When are we getting that camera? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because we hadn't seen it in the arena yet. And then like 4 matches in, and we finally saw like a shot during like the Seth match, and we're like, what the fuck are they doing? Oh my god, that's on his ear. What the fuck is going on right now? This is a terrible idea. We've done this before. TNA did this. They had a GoPro on somebody's hat when they were refereeing one time. It was so bad. There's a reason, because like if the big guys aren't doing a good job out of it, why the fuck am I even going to try, right? Because I'm like, I can't think. I've wrapped my head around this. I can't think of a way to make it better, because I've strapped GoPros to people in various situations. That sounds dirtier than I intended. But very specific situations work, and where they're not going to do certain things, or maybe a nice time lapse, as we've done in the past. But anyways, that's why I just stick to strapping at the vehicles. And that is your out of context quotes for later. Anyways,
we're gonna have a soundboard, Sorg.
Sorg is our lightning rod. He'll get hit first. Thank you, Podner, for that.
Yep.
It's my superpower, being tall, just like Drew. Anyways, what the fuck is on Netflix right now? Oh, God. Oh, no. I just fucked up my algorithm. Okay, here's the problem I have. Here's your complaint department for a moment. I am unable and have been unable to try to pull up and play WWE Raw on a browser or my phone without a VPN. TV's fine. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they're doing with this listing. But like I literally can't bring up Raw now. But if I put in Canada mode, I bet I can. So actually it is hard.
They got you, yeah.
So anyways, Rizz, was there anything else we had to touch base on? There was something from one of the other shows, I thought. AEW. I want to talk about this because the headline is people are upset because there's a 12-man tag happening for the main event on Collision that was announced. One, this isn't fucking news. You just read
Fine.
tweets.
Yeah. Let them do things.
Well, they are teaming up. The Death Riders are teaming up with Learning Tree against all of their enemies. And I think people are having a cow because, Death Riders, they're thinking that this kind of kills the story of the Death Riders because they're like, we're taking all the goofy shit out of AEW and then they team up with Jericho's band of misfits. Guys, you don't know how they're going to play it.
It's wrestling.
You think? Were we just talking about this on the Patreon or between where we were just like people kind of go out and have their idea of how something's going to go, and you're just like, maybe there's a reason this doesn't make sense, and you're going to see it Saturday when you watch Collision. Kind of situation, because don't you want to see how they're going to interact? If they're going to interact, will they get along? Because they weren't getting along necessarily when they were in the ring together before that led to this match, which I think Collision ended with a big smodge with all the teams situations kind of thing. So we'll see. I don't know. I just want to see Edge team up with the Outrunners. I'm down with that.
Yeah,
I want to see Edge meet the youngest men alive. Okay, because that's fucking. I mean, those guys are like just a skit from the Edge and Christian show. Also, bits from the Edge and Christian show have been popping up on my feed lately. Like people have just discovered them, and I'm here for it.
Have you guys ever seen this before? This is crazy.
Yeah,
I lived it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, no, I was here for this. Let me tell you about Legends House.
Oh no!
Oh, Legends House.
Oh, Legends House. Oh my!
Legends House was a.
Is that still on the Peacock?
I have no idea. Peacock is such a mishmash of stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on Netflix, but it's whatever. Hopefully, it ends up on the Vault channel on YouTube, which has been
yes.
They just dropped the super tape on there, so it is what the WWE Vault is what I want from. It's like it's all the good. It's like how WWE Network had the feed, so you didn't have to like worry about what to pick next, and they just played shit. Like WWE Vault channel was like, yeah, no, of course that's something I want to watch next. I will watch the Super Tape Volume 2. I will watch Saturday Night's Main Event. I will watch a random WCW Saturday Night. I'm here for all this stuff.
I want to point out Legends House is still on Peacock.
Okay, that makes sense. It probably will be for the next year. We'll see what happens there.
If you don't want to randomly watch WCW Saturday Night or any of that, like just don't. You can leave me alone.
Yeah.
Because that's for me. If it's like today where it's snowing and it's a blizzard and I'm just kind of stuck at home and I need something on, like I'm popping right to.
It's good background, isn't it?
It's great. It's great. You run across the American Males or something, and you're I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Or you didn't know. Like talking about on the show. Like I am not exposed to a lot of pre-1996 WCW.
Yeah.
So it's all new to me. Wait, Reiki the Dragon Steamboat was doing what with Rick Rude? Wait, that's. Why am I not completely invested in this storyline and match situation? Because that's absolutely something I want to see right now for the U.S. title. What? Let's fucking go.
I can't do anything for the next hour. Hold my calls.
Leave me alone. Yeah. Leave me alone for this one.
Just pop on WCW Greed.
That goes the other way. But I mean, also interesting in its own way. I remember doing that. We talked about this on the show when it happened, but I was just like, I went and watched the pay-per-views, if not the WCW Nitros, for the last month or two leading into the shutdown. And it's so fascinating to see what they were setting up. because I had no idea like what direction they were in, and you're just like, what the fuck? like I can't remember any of the storylines or anything like that, but like going into the Greek, going to the next thing, it's like, you were doing what with this? Like, wait, what was going to happen next? Like, you are kind of curious about what that might have looked like, right?
I would have loved to have 2 more months. Let's just see.
You know what we need. You know what we need. I know somebody on the chat right now is going to pop at this. You know how there's like Smallville has a season 11 comic book series of what happens after that. Buffy has like the next season. I think Firefly has like what the next season looks like, but it's in comic book form. What if somebody did
Now we're talking.
a comic book edition of WCW 2001?
Oh, this is a big idea.
This
is a big idea.
Yo, Mike Kingston, I know you do WWE comics out there. I know we are tagging you in this clip on TikTok if it's still around this week, and we're gonna fucking get this into the world, okay? WCW 2001 comic series. What might have happened? Touch base with the people, the creative brains. Who I don't even know who the creative was. Jeff Jarrett was around. You know, just a little pick at like, hey, Scott Steiner, what do you think? Do you know what the plan was going into? You know, take what everybody recalls about, like, if you just go to everybody that was like even the top guys and be like, they had to know something about the intended storyline, right? Maybe not, because WCW was fucking wild as far as creative, right? But maybe there was like, yeah, we're kind of thinking about this. Even if like the guys making it up, still, I don't give a fuck. I want to see it. You know, whatever Scott Steiner thought Scott Steiner was going to be in 2001, I want it fucking in comic book form. Okay.
Even better, with Scott Steiner, don't go to anybody else. Just go to him and ask him what he thought it was going to be, and just do it.
Brother gets a one shot. Yeah. That's your annual. Okay. That's your. Fuck, that's it. That's fucking it.
That is it.
Anyways, I don't. Side note here, just a few points here. Remember the NWO teamed up with the Dungeon of Doom? I think did that happen? Or is he just fucking with me right now? Headlock Comics, get on it. Yes. Tina says that I'm here for the slow descent into madness for Ricochet. Have we seen him? Has he popped up since Wrestle Kingdom? He didn't pop up in this last week, did he? No, he was on one of the shows. I'm trying to remember what happened. Sorry, there's been a lot of wrestling this week, every week in my life, and I'm trying to edge in New Japan and TNA into my watch list, because I found TNA on local TV, so I have it on the DVR now. But anyways, so I have a lot of space on my DVR now. I share it with my mother, so it's just Hallmark movies and wrestling. Anyways, so he shares a DVR account with his mother. We'll let you have that, CM Punk. Anyways. Yeah, no, I want to see Ricochet, because like I watched the Ricochet headlined a Tokyo Dome match for the championship and lost after losing. After the Kerry moment with the toilet paper in the Hammerstein Ballroom, after losing the Continental Classic semifinals, and like I want to see the breakdown. It's like you had all these chances and boom, you know, kind of thing. Like I'm here for it.
Is he gonna nod to, like, I don't know how much, I know the lines are blurred with cross-referencing where they've been with where they're at now. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, he could play that perfectly with, like, I never had any chances to now I have all the chances. And now I thought it was because I wasn't getting any opportunities, but now I'm getting all of them and they're just sliding through my hands.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's more like people call him out for it, right? Yeah. And he just keeps going, you know, just down that thing. Like, I can see him doing, like, think about what Swerve. Like, Swerve went this fucking nasty route and had success. But then there's still you have Adam Page hanging out there reminding him. I mean, the same thing happens to WWE now because nobody forgot the bloodline. That's cool. Nobody has a short memory anymore. Just for the most part in both companies. That's fucking fantastic.
It's amazing.
Right? Like the consequences matter and can come back, right? It's not even heel face. Like, you got like a fucking hate triangle between Drew and Seth and CM Punk, which is beautiful, right? And So yeah, like I feel like that is it, because the whole thing is he came in, he wants the opportunities, and he did what, you know. I presume, I don't remember much of it. I know he's had the King Ricochet in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this leads into kind of a callback to that situation. I feel like Tina's going to know more about that than I am. I just have a feeling, because I feel like that's a Defy thing that she might have been watching back in the day that I'm not aware of until my Ricochet experience starts with King Puma. Okay, so
Yep.
allegedly. Anyways, did you see the American Psycho-ish Ricochet stabbing swerve with the scissors? Wait, when was that? God, I was so tired last week watching wrestling. I don't think I absorbed any of it. It was on, but, you know, SmackDown was definitely the worst with that situation. And it has nothing on the product. That is a me problem, okay? It is a me and just being tired a lot. Anyways, it's not going to get better. It's okay. I slept for like a week during the holidays. Anyways, okay, guys, let's give a shout out here, and we'll move on to what we learned, because I feel like I'm monologuing. Give our friends a shout to Slice on Broadway, sliceonbroadway.com, blah, 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 blah. Sliceonbroadway.com, feeding our guests here that have, especially the ones that have braved the frozen tundra of the Beachview, Pittsburgh area. I have been supporting us for a good 10 years here. Go support them. Sliceonbroadway.com, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza here for the original Up the Tracks here in Beachview, of course, and multiple locations in the Pittsburgh area. Guys, it's time to learn. The chat room, get in there too. What did you learn from wrestling this week? Who would like to go first? Where's this pondering over there? You got a ponder for us?
Pondering.
You're Dave pondering.
I learned that Bailey can still get it on the mic.
Yes.
She's really good on the microphone.
Her commercial break promo was so fun.
Yeah, I just saw it too, and I'm like, I need to go back and do that. Just ripping into Michael Cole again.
I learned that I don't know what's real still. Is Corey Graves actually in the doghouse for the comments he said online? Is Corey Graves setting up for a storyline with Pat McAfee? Is there going to be a Michael Cole on a pole match at WrestleMania 41 night one? Whose tweet is that? I'm so sorry, I'm not citing it. Or in the chat room. I'm sure it was in the chat room from Tina or Dave or somebody. But I don't know. So So apparently Corey has been obviously not on the big two shows. Popped up on NXT last week. Apparently that is his assignment for the duration, at least it was. And he made some comments about not being famous enough, despite all the trials he's been through, to be doing his job right now on those platforms. So, and allegedly he was pulled. Can people confirm if Corey is on the NXT show right now? I'll find out in a couple hours myself. Or was, because it's 10:30. So I'm interested in that. But anyways, but yeah, it is. I can't comment on it because I don't know if it's real or not. You literally don't. Because like every time Pat McAfee pops up, Corey has animosity with him. On camera.
He gets the Seth Rollins CM Punk rage.
Yeah. So is it a thing? There's been, hasn't there been rumors of Corey might do a comeback of some sort, health-wise? So I feel like we fantasy booked that here on the show at some point when those rumors were going around. So I don't know. I can't tell you anything. And much like I always say the backstage thing. I'm just, somebody's like, hey, I'm worried about that guy. Something happened in the ring. And I'm just like, until he's limping backstage, I don't believe anything. I literally don't. Unless I specifically see something in the ring that I know is not okay. Like, I do not like if Clayton, if you fall on your head and you just look like you're completely concussed and completely fucking out of it, I am not going to believe until you walk back and don't remember your name. So
hey, who am I? Who
am
I? What?
Exactly. This show just fucking concuss you. I won't believe you until we're off camera and you're still acting the same way. Just like that's fucking. It's wrestling, right? And it kind of does that to you. So, and we're doing our jobs. We're not looking at you in that way to be like, oh yeah, that was wrong, kind of thing. So, anyways, True Prince Pro, Matt in the chat room learned that after finishing the amazing feud against the Finn in the Judgment Day, I want to see Damian Priest win the Royal Rumble and challenge Gunther at WrestleMania. I'm here for it. I think that'd be good. He's there, man. He's got it. Like I think he's in that spot, and I think he gets. Well, he was a champion last year. I keep forgetting, but he should get that Mania win. I think. Because he got that Money in the Bank win.
So he wins all of it? He wins Money in the Bank, he wins Royal Rumble, then he wins...
Hey, it'll be a good run.
Yeah.
Good run, good story, right? And maybe he can slip in on Elimination Chamber if he doesn't get the Rumble. Depends on what kind of story you want to tell at Rumble, right?
See, I can see slipping in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
But right now, especially with 2 weeks ago...
Mm-hmm.
I think I said this last year. I have no clue who's going to win.
Yeah, there's a lot of options, aren't there?
Like, could it be Punk? Could it be Cena? Could it be
Roman?
Could it be Penta? Like, I'm in the bank of just give it to Penta and have him run with whatever's happening.
Could it be Macaulay Culkin? Could it be? So I know.
Could it be his brother?
I also learned Bronson Reed is amazing at Twitter.
He's calling out
who he will. Watch yourself. He's calling out who he will and will not tsunami on Twitter. And Macaulay Culkin will not receive a tsunami. Penta, what was it? Penta, welcome to WWE. You're in the splash zone, he said. I got a tsunami for you or something. So give me Penta and Bronson Reed as soon as he's healed. Yeah. Please. My God. What is his prognosis? Let me know, please. So I want this.
Like, I think I after his match, I'm like, I want Penta versus Gunther. I want Penta versus Sheamus. I want Penta versus Cody.
That would be
I want Penta
because they're just letting them fucking go, right?
Roman.
Yeah.
Like, Penta versus Roman Reigns.
I want Penta versus Ray.
Mm-hmm.
I want Penta versus Io Sky. I want the rematch against Chelsea. I think Chelsea called him out on an interview already. So I don't know if that's canon, but like, let's fucking go. Let's fucking just do a Lucha Underground. Give me Penta versus just Chelsea, Io, and Kairi Sane. Actually, give me Penta against Damage Control as a whole. Let's just fucking do that. It kind of fits the mold for what happened in Lucha Underground. So, and I love everybody sharing that match, by the way. Everybody sharing that Death Triangle. Or not Death Triangle. What is it? Black Lotus? Dark Lotus? No, that's Juggalos. But
yeah,
the Black Lotus Triad or something.
We have confirmation.
We have confirmation of
the name. It is Black Lotus Triad.
It's in the chat. It's in the chat room.
It's right here.
It's right in front of your
there.
face. I'm trying to get it to go away. No chats during the show, guys. Not on the Zoom. Anyways, I think I know who did that. Somebody used to do a podcast here. Anyways, Dave Bonner learned that professionals really hate it. I learned when professionals really hate it, others make great promos. What? Punk, Seth, and Drew learned when professionals really hate
I think it's when professional wrestlers hate each other.
Oh, okay.
They make magic like that.
Okay, yes.
I think I got you, partner.
Okay. Sorry, I was having trouble. Hate each other? Yes, there we go. Clayton King. What'd you learn?
I learned this week, I think, that after watching the main event Jey Uso promo spot with Gunther, which was amazing, I've always been kind of not sure if I think Jey can kind of do it on that side. I feel like he's always kind of been background and storytelling. I feel like dude's ready to tell the story himself. I mean, it's along the lines of what they're saying in the chat. When you're shaken because you firmly believe what you're saying.
Yeah.
And he's fun and he does all his fun stuff and he's yeeting people and whatever. But the last 20 seconds of that where Gunther's walking away and he is shaking pissed. Like that for me, I I kind of half pay attention sometimes. You know, we're all guilty of like, oh, we're doing other stuff.
It's on, you know.
The phone went down. Like I heard the voice and the tone. The phone went down, and I was grabbing the edge of my seat, and I'm going, wait a second. I haven't seen that before. This was awesome.
There was a lot of Wrestle Chill moments for me this week between Raw. I think that was one of them. There was some other stuff that was happening. I think like the Penta thing got me during that promo. It got me. Like again, I don't know. I literally don't know half of what he's saying, but you can feel what he's saying.
You can feel it.
Yeah. Like again, like you're there for it. It was some really cool moments there, you know. And there's also a week Sumi Sakai had a retirement match. I just watched it here before the show. It's so much fun. It's not a story you would expect in a retirement match in New Japan. Asumi Sakai teaming with her, so she has a lot of her trainees that include Evil and Yo from House of Torture that are teaming with her, right? And doing all this bad shit and trying to make her do the bad shit, and then they start attacking her. And the other side of the team is Hiromu Takahashi, Magical Girl Yuka Sakazawa, and the one that's she's the current IWGP Women's Champion. So like I was like, wait, I don't remember that New Japan's ever done an intergender match on top of things, you know. And now it's like 3-on-3, whatever it is, and it was just there's a point where they have I think Takahashi has one of the House of Torture guys in a hold, and they're doing the like hold their hand through the ropes thing. But then like the other girl from the other team grabs it, and then Sumi comes around and grabs it too, and then grabs a fan's hand, and there's a line of people in the crowd, in San Jose, all pulling on this. Like at least 8 people.
Let's go.
And I'm like, that is the best. I better see that in indie wrestling in the near future, because they know we steal everything in indie wrestling. I do it not as well. It's the Wrestle Kingdom rule, as I've said. Also, Tina has learned that as cheesy as it may be, Mercedes being on American daytime television with belts from Japanese and British promotions is a bold mainstream move. I saw clips of that going on. I didn't get to listen to them yet, but that is a visual. That's cool. My mom probably saw that. like probably flipped through and saw stuff like that, right? So, anyways, Clayton King, thank you so much for joining us. You will be at Thursday and Friday in the South Side, right? For 880 Wrestling?
Yeah, Thursday and Friday at the South Side. Every Thursday you can catch me and the buddies over there doing what we do, trying to clean it up. And then next Friday in Washington for VCW's Fight Fire with Fire 2.
There you go, and I got the poster there, and there we go for you guys on video. Yep, it's gonna be at the Fire Hall. I know I was out of town, but got to see the last one that they did there. It was a pretty cool venue that we had going on down there. So Fire Hall shows always fun.
Beast looks so happy there.
Oh, yeah, it is a happy Beast. It doesn't even look like him. He's got this long hair now,
weird picture.
and he's so hardened by the Japanese food and toilets. So we'll see what version of him we get here. And not that version. That's the I haven't seen Japanese shit.
Yeah, we're getting the
picture.
big angry version is
yes.
what we're getting for sure.
Yeah, the big nasty Beastman, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. Thank you so much, Clayton King. Check him out on the Instagram. Check him out. Of course, we have a lot of his matches over at IndyWrestling.us on the YouTube channel and over on the network as well with 880 Wrestling and VCW. And thank you for joining us. Thank you, Rizz. Rizz plays games on the social medias. I believe you are going to be playing with the Dutters tomorrow night in the studio, right?
I believe so.
We'll be streaming that on all Sorgatron media feeds. I think, did we settle on Battletoads?
I believe we did settle on Battletoads.
Oh man, the new Battletoads.
Okay.
Not the old fuck you NES version. Okay.
Yeah, that's not the
new,
bad.
I don't think the new one's nearly as difficult, but it is 3 players, and I think I'm going to hop in on that. So we're gonna have some fun with that here tomorrow night. So, anyways. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, intern John, for hanging out there on the line and helping us with the chats and the social media. Social medias? Yes, exactly. It's perfect time to get the Patreon. No, I'm not okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Mayhem Nation in the chat room. We're here every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. We have Rich Bocchini joining us next week, penciling in a Beastman the week after that. And then who knows what's going to happen. Mayhem web game in the next few weeks. And, we have not shared that yet. We have a merch.
Oh, is it time?
We have new merch.
Oh, we've merch.
We do have new merch, and the campaign hasn't gone out. But my God, when you see this stuff, it is beautiful looking, and I can't wait to get it in my hands.
Also, I just want to point out the Rumble's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't heard yet from Matt in quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he's thinking of stuff.
I'm waiting for word. I'm waiting for word from Matt Carlins. Everybody tweet Matt Carlins and stuff, right? So, it is what it is.
Oh, I thought he was talking about Friday.
No.
No.
There's a whole thing. We'll explain it on Patreon. Don't worry about it.
I mean, he was just talking about coming to watch me win the Rumble on Friday.
That's
That's
what
what
I thought.
obviously. Obviously.
Yeah, there's that too. No, yeah, AEW Wrestling. Go there too. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.